Oh, I didn't play that.
We're
We didn't have
here.
the thing set up.
Hello,
Hold on.
everyone. I'll play
Awkward.
it right
Hold
now.
on.
Is it the...
So
We
the key
suck
is
so much.
no, you suck so much. The key is to have that tab open when you press it, so that so you can go right to it. But regardless, it's still funny. I don't give a shit either way.
I was sitting there like frozen, like waiting for it to go. I was like, oh no.
What
What
is
is
up?
up?
We are back again, and then we got Tommy Boy, Alice, Charlie, and
The
the
Stanleys.
Stanleys.
The Stanleys. Let's go, Charlie, Alice.
I'm so glad
Friends.
Alice is finally here. It's been
Yeah.
too long,
Yes.
Alice. It's been very long. I'm actually Australian, right? Or New Zealand. I think she's Australian.
She's
I think so
Aussie.
too.
She's an Aussie. She's an Aussie mate.
Well, shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's just
I'm
dive right in.
nervous.
Let's
Go
just
ahead.
jump on in. The Book of Boba Fett finale was on the other night, and I don't know if you guys watched it, but I did, and for me it was a bit of a mixed bag. I do want to start with some positives before we inevitably start tearing it apart.
Yeah, let's just do the positives across the board first.
Okay. Some of the things I liked that he finally used his jetpack. Like, that's something I wanted to see from the get-go, and he finally used it in a meaningful fashion. I love the Rancor action. Like, in Return of the Jedi, the Rancor was really cool, but it was really clunky and wasn't super fast. And I think if Luke fought the Rancor from this episode, it would have killed him because this Rancor was like the Incredible Hulk. I loved every Cad Bane scene, and I liked the Weequay bounty hunter, or not, the Weequay bartender from Freetown. I love that guy. I want him to get his own series. That sums up what I liked. What about you guys?
So what I liked about this episode is knowing for sure that Max Rebo is still alive, and that's pretty much about it.
What
Wow.
confirmed that?
Well, you didn't see. Well, that was interesting though. Actually, you didn't see any dead bodies in the cantina. Yeah, so it was almost
that's
like
too dark for Disney.
Yeah, but I was like, come on, you gotta show dead people. That adds to the immersion. I don't know. At least for me. I don't know. Like, it started off with just a bunch of dialogue that just felt nonsensical for the most part. And then like I'm trying to think of like what was positive about that episode when I was watching it. Aside from Grogu being cute and killing it, I wasn't a huge fan of it, to be honest with you. That's all I have to say about that.
Wow. I think my favorite part, most relieving part to me, was that I think that they successfully brought the focus back to Boba Fett, which I thought was going to be a really hard task, but they actually did it, in my opinion, pretty seamlessly, and they actually like fulfilled his arc in a way. I don't know. I was satisfied with the fact that, yes, even though episodes 5 and 6 kind of strayed from his storyline, like they still managed to make it about him in the finale. And I mean, I was happy that it was 60 minutes long. I was hoping that it would be like at least. So I think that was my favorite aspect, that they somehow managed to like cap off Boba Fett's arc, which is what I was really hoping for, since he'd been put on the back burner for the last couple of weeks. So
I mean, like 30 minutes of it was him shooting a shield. So I mean,
oh God! All right, just rip into it.
That
just
is
do
true.
It. Just go off. I want to hear what y'all have to say, because I knew you guys were gonna. I want to hear your guys' director school, your filmmaker perspectives, because that's a lot of the criticism I'm seeing on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, no, like obviously, I want you to be able to say how you feel and not feel like we're judging you, because like by all means,
No.
I was hoping I enjoyed it, and I know there's a lot of people that did enjoy it, and there's nothing wrong with you if you enjoyed it. I'm not gonna like hunt you down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from my perspective, a lot of it was just so foolish and nonsensical and made absolutely no sense from like a storytelling perspective, and then also just for a finale episode, it was like so underwhelming, almost like there was more expectation here than Bad Batch, and like it even let me down a little bit more than Bad Batch did. So I
Throwback.
was like, okay.
I've kind of gotten into the habit of saying like, and I'm making a video about this where I kind of explain myself, but I view this series in two different ways. Like as the Star Wars fan, I kind of liked it. Like I enjoyed it. Like it's a good thing to like kind of turn your brain off and just enjoy. But from a writer's perspective, from a creative perspective, I think it's terrible. Like the writing is so, I mean, you use the perfect word, Alex, nonsensical. There are so many interesting choices in a bad way that they made. Like the popular one is that they choose to not follow the main character for 2 episodes. Like that's asinine. Like you don't do that. There's just so many like half-baked plot threads, and it just feels like they took it out of the oven too soon to me. And this episode, I think, is like a microcosm of all the issues I have with the show, just put into one episode, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Pat, like I noticed, like, I mean, in general, you're very, very positive and very, very like look at all the good and everything.
Well,
But just from your perspective, what wasn't good? Like, obviously you didn't love it. What could have made it better? What do you think could have improved?
okay, so I think this is why I genuinely wanted to hear from you guys, and we all analyze things differently. So like I don't pay attention to like directorial styles, shots, like cinematography, like any flaws in that, or like action choreography, like that doesn't immediately stand out to me
Also,
as
bye,
far
T-Money.
as
Sorry to interrupt.
that doesn't stand out to me as much as say like acting. Like that's more like I focus on that stuff. So this is why I wanted to talk to you guys about like what is it about direction? What is it about certain shots or choreography with your guys' literal like education, your background? Because for my I don't pick up so much on that stuff, so it doesn't affect me until I hear an analysis from someone who actually knows like, yeah, this is how you shoot a good scene. Like your guys' experience, like what it's supposed to be like behind the camera. So, I mean, I think that the biggest thing for me is that I had anticipations for Crimson Dawn or Han Solo. Like I fed into some of the rumors and like I took that in, and episodes 5 and 6 were super lit. So I was like, oh my gosh, this finale is gonna be like a bombshell. Like Han Solo's gonna show up, Lando, Kira. Like I thought it was gonna be just like this explosion of cameos, and that my brain was gonna be blasted, and I wasn't even gonna be able to like survive. Like, so that was my issue. I just felt like I set myself up for too many expectations for things that didn't come to fruition. But I don't think that
Yeah.
inherently means the episode itself was bad. So that's why I want to hear from you guys who like actually have filmmaking background. Like what?
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I get you. Just really quick to touch on this topic. It's a fair point, but the only difference here is it's not a book, it's a TV series. And TV series, you don't have 400 pages to tell a story. You have
not
like
even
7
400
hours.
pages, Alex.
Yeah.
3 books. Like
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings is a 3-book trilogy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think this is a fair comparison at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand what you're trying to say and trying to defend it, but it's like from a storytelling perspective in live action, in a TV series that's only 7 episodes long, there's not a whole lot of room to kind of mess around with non Boba Fett esque plot threads, unless the the show is called like Grogu and Friends or something. Like there's it just doesn't make sense because there's going to be so many casuals like who maybe are so excited for Mandalorian season 3 and they watch it and they're like felt like, well, what happened with wait, so Grogu's already seen Luke, why didn't they show that? It's like, well, they did. They just showed it in 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett where like they could have just maybe left that out. I don't know if they're making it so now you have to watch that. I don't know if that was Robert Rodriguez is doing, or if it was maybe Dave Filoni being like, okay, look, dude, this show's terrible. The only way people are going to watch it is if we put Luke and Grogu in it and make them all watch it. That's going to be what has to happen. Robert's like, okay, whatever. You know, I don't know. I I just don't want to see I don't want to see Robert Rodriguez ever touch Star Wars again. Not because, you know, I don't like him, but just because I don't think he knows how to tell a Star Wars story, personally.
No, that's like the bulk of the conversation on Twitter. A lot of people are saying that. I feel like that's like the majority that I've seen. Even positive people like in the fandom. People who are generally not labeled as toxic are voicing that like, yeah, I don't think he's
Like,
I
yeah, and I
have
feel
no
like
opinion.
I'm
But
generally very positive about it. Like, I'm not
yeah.
like politically backed by my decisions in the Star Wars universe, you know, like a lot of channels are. And I still didn't like it. And that's a bad sign because, like, I remember I tuned in at the end of the episode just to kind of see what Theory thought, to see kind of how he leans, like, in retrospect. And, like, obviously, he wasn't too thrilled about the Bad Batch either. And he gave the finale like a 6 or a 5. And I was like, dude, I'm totally there too. Like, I remember me and Zach were sitting there, we're just like, dude, not only did they kill off Cad Bane, but the Spy Kids still survived and they didn't die. And we were just sitting there like, now it just left a really bad taste in all of our mouths. Like, what is this? Like, this wouldn't be in Clone Wars. Like, Dave Filoni would never make something like this. Like, even in animation, it's like they have all the budget in the world to do pretty much anything they want, and then this is what they get, and this is what
I
they
just
produce.
I think that like even if you take Star Wars out of it, just look at it as a finale of a show. It wasn't very good because the structure was just terrible. Like it was like 45 minutes of mindless action where the heroes had no plan other than like, well, I guess we're just winging it. And it was just like Alex said, they spent like so much time shooting at shields. Like the group of people ran in a straight line for like 20 minutes and somehow none of them died. Like
Yeah,
it just felt so scrambled and frenetic and all over the place that it was just not a well-paced finale. And I really think I've said this before that the show could have used more episodes. Because imagine like instead of Boba Fett just showing up on the Rancor, you have like an episode or two where he's like struggling to write it. He's having a hard time writing it, and maybe he bonds with it instead of them just writing it as like, oh, the first thing it sees it imprints upon. Well, maybe Boba has to earn it. Maybe Rancors
yeah,
have to respect you before they let you ride them. I mean, something like that. That would have been more character building for both Boba Fett and the Rancor. And I feel like they just jumped from the early stages of developing Boba Fett to, okay, here's Mando, okay, here's Luke and Grogu, to, all right, we're finishing this off now. And the phrase I keep coming back to is I think they took it out of the oven too soon, and they needed to just spend more time crafting this show, because it wasn't all bad. I didn't hate this show. I think it could have been a lot better.
yeah. I mean, and I'm looking at it like, if you're gonna rate the show, don't include um episode 5 and 6, because I feel like it isn't the Book of Boba Fett. If you remove those 2 episodes, would you watch it? That's, I think, the real question. And in my opinion, no, I would not. In retrospect, knowing, but like, Luke and Grogu are in it, so now everyone has to watch it. And I'm just curious, like, from a if that was like a marketing move that they did that. I don't know if that was if that was like the initial like vision that they had for all of it, because it's just really a bizarre choice to do that for me.
Yeah, Tom and I rewatched the whole season that night to stay awake leading up to the finale. And I thought I was curious to see how watching it all
Alex,
through was going to if it was going to feel like cohesive, watching it all the way through, like seeing if episodes 5 and 6 like fit in with the overarching through line of the show. And admittedly, like it even if you're watching it as a marathon, like it does feel those episodes feel like a completely different show. Like they feel I don't know. I wish it didn't feel this way, because I wouldn't trade those episodes for anything. I think like they are some of the best Star Wars that we've seen, and this show was definitely like a vehicle for like showing us some of the sweetest stuff that I never even thought we were going to see on screen as a Star Wars fan. But admittedly, like those 2 episodes did kind of like blip right as actual like Boba Fett's story was like getting good. Like it was picking up and it was being like, all right, we're gonna have this all out war with the Pikes. And then that doesn't happen for the next 2 episodes, and then they save this all out war for the final episode, which I originally thought was going to feel too rushed. I mean, I don't know. I felt like there was so much action that it did feel like, okay, this lived up to the hype of this war that they've been discussing for the entirety of the season. But yeah, it's tough because I loved episodes 5 and 6, but they did do something to like throw off the rhythm of the show a little bit. But you're so right, because I trust Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, and I'm like, I feel like they would know that this is incongruent with the rest of the series. But I mean, from a marketing standpoint, it forces people to watch, to watch the show that maybe didn't garner as much interest previously.
Yeah, and I mean, I went in. It's not like I went in expecting to hate it. I went in, hopefully cautiously optimistic that it was going to be good, and I gave it a couple episodes, and I didn't really feel anything to the fourth episode, and that's like literally more than halfway through the entire show. And it was just like, what is this? And then we got to Luke and Grogu, and I'm like, okay, what is this? I'm not complaining. Really, what is this? And then we get introduced to Cad, and then Cad just dies the episode after. I feel like that was just a big waste. A lot of weird decisions going on here with like Fennec going and killing all the lore. Like I feel like that was Boba's moment. Like, shouldn't Boba have done that? Like, why did Fennec go and do it? Because it just shows you more like Fennec is literally the protagonist of the, or whatever you call her. Like, she's like the main, the person that you want to root for. And Boba's just like the bumbling idiot who like doesn't know how to form his thoughts or even what he's doing, or he just needs someone to tell him what to do all the time. It's very weird.
I actually think they did Fennec dirty. I think they did her dirty in this show. She was reduced to exposition dumps. Like, everything she said was explaining what was going on to Boba Fett.
Yeah, because Boba couldn't.
Yeah, but it's like Boba Fett has worked in crime for 20, 30 years. Like, he should know. And they just had Fennec be this device to explain to the audience what was going on. And she's cooler than that. Like, she deserved better than that in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, personally, I think she was the only thing that I really liked about the show. Aside from those 2 episodes, like, she was like the only thing that I actually enjoyed watching, because she was cool and she did some cool things. And Boba just like until the very end, using his jetpack. It's just like, I don't know. Why is it that he could never really form any rational decisions, and like everything he wanted to do to be a crime lord was against what he believed in now, so he really isn't a crime lord anymore. And then at the very end, when they're like, why are they worshiping me? It's like, well, because you just earned their respect. Everything you fought for is now what you have, and you don't even want it now. So then what was the point of everything? I don't, the little comments at the end made no sense. Like, well, like, who is this guy? This isn't Boba Fett. Like, I don't care for him really anymore. His character, it's just kind of sad. I don't know. What does everyone else think?
I mean, the scene that really didn't make any sense to me was when Cad Bane said, like, I can't figure out what your angle is. And it felt like he was us, like, asking Michelle, like, what's your angle, Boba? Like, and Boba Fett says something to the extent of, like, this is my city, these are my people. And it's like, are they though? I mean, they all, like, it would have been one thing if the people of Mos Espa rallied around Boba Fett and helped him fight the crime syndicate, but they didn't. We don't know anything about the people of Mos Espa. We're told that, oh, spice is ruining Mos Espa, there's crime everywhere, but we don't see it. So it's hard for us to buy it when we don't see any of this. I think back to, like, let's use the 2 towers for an example again. When they're at Helm's Deep, you specifically see a lot of shots of the women and children in the caves. You know exactly what the defenders of Helm's Deep are fighting for. You understand completely. In this episode, we don't see the town was deserted. It looked deserted to me. Like, I didn't see anything. I didn't see any fear from the citizens. We never saw the people, like, addicted to spice or being pushed around by criminals in this series. Like, it felt like Mos Espa was more of a setting and not like a character setting, in that like how Hogwarts feels like a character, for example. Like, it didn't feel like that. It felt like an empty vessel to me. And I think fleshing out the environment would have really served this show and helped me buy into Boba's motivation to kind of clean it up and keep order.
Yeah, you did make a good point. I was a little bit confused by that line as well, because it seemed like he had bad associations with, Tatooine and working for the Hutts and like Big Fortuna. Like, it seemed like there were a lot of negative associations with the planet
Speaking-
for him.
Speaking of Bib Fortuna, like the promotional material literally showed Boba walking in, shooting him in the fucking face, and then taking the throne. And then after that, he just never uses his blaster again, and is like, "I want to do peace, good. I want to do peace, good, and make good civilization in crime as crime lord." And then he does a lot of weird things from there on out. Totally not like it's almost like he after he did that, it was like he just had post-traumatic something go on, and like something flipped in his head, or the chip went off, but it was like the opposite of like what the chip was designed to do, and he just became good or something. I don't even know what, like, well, I don't know what happened, dude. Like it's almost like false advertising in a way, the way they showed the like what it was going to be like, for the promo. Granted, it was like, not that long, but it's like you kind of had an idea of what it was going to be. And then when I heard Robert Rodriguez was going to do it, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I hope it looks good, because I remember we were talking earlier about like the Boba Fett scene in Mandalorian looked very cheap, weirdly, like the lighting was weird or something. So like, when it ended up looking good, I was like, okay, good, it looks great, but like now there's no story, so it was like, I guess you can't have your cake and eat it too with Robert Rodriguez. I don't know.
I want to ask your guys' opinions on this, as like, again, from the director standpoint, because we were reading up on like the Kenobi show stuff that they kind of dropped immediately after Book of Boba Fett to like generate some hype. And Tom read that Deborah Chow is directing the entire show, and I was like, to me, that's a relief. And I wanted to ask you guys, because there was a different director, with the exception of Robert Rodriguez. He did a couple episodes this season. There was a different director, for a lot of the episodes. Does that in any way contribute to like in a lack of continuity, a lack of like congruence with the vibe of the show? Like, would the show have been better if one director did all the episodes, or does that not have any impact? Like, I'm genuinely asking. Like, I don't know, because I don't have an eye for that stuff.
I think it just depends, really. I don't know if there's like a concrete answer for that. I think if everyone's on the same page, it could be great. I think Mandalorian was a good example of that in some respects. I think it was missing Watto. Oh yeah, we talked about we never saw Watto. It's true.
Why didn't he get his own solo episode? I mean, if you're gonna go off and follow Grogu and Luke, I mean, like, who cares? Like, why don't we?
They're saving him for Kenobi.
Also, really quick, this was a good. Like, it's like, like, doesn't the town flourish on the drug trade? So if there's no drug trade, like, what are they? Is it now like just a normal? Is it like gonna become Coruscant in the desert with those? Like what exactly is
exactly
there, right?
You're totally right.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
like,
it's a great point, and they could make. I mean, I know it's Disney, so they probably wouldn't do this, but you could make a really deep commentary on like sometimes crime organizations are necessary and they like help some people. Like, that's kind of what The Godfather implies. Like, so. And I know, like I said, it's Disney, so they probably wouldn't have sanctioned that, but that would have been a deep thing to explore.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Cad Bane, because he's obviously one of the hottest topics right now. They did my boy dirty.
Oh,
he's dead, I think.
Well, what
I think
say you
dead.
To all the
is that what you got today?
Like, yeah,
I got that from the mail. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, cool. I didn't know what was in it. Gotcha. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Kat.
Well, what do you think about all the people saying that his life support was still beeping, and that maybe that he's signaling someone's going to hear that, or like that's sending out a message to somebody who's going to come get him, or that he was still a little bit alive? I don't know. I don't know if I subscribe to that, but that's what I'm seeing a lot of people speculating on Twitter.
As much as I would love that, I do think he's dead. And I think they kind of... I say waste him kind of lightly, because in the grand scheme of things, I think he had an appropriate life and he did a lot and we got to see him a lot. But I mean, I feel like they wasted him in the scope of the show. Because he showed up at the end of episode 6 and then died at the end of episode 7. Yeah. I think he should have been the villain for most of the series, at least. Yeah, exactly. And they could have done more with him and Boba, and actually establishing a rivalry, because they're really, at least in this last episode, they're really relying on that one unfinished scene where young Boba Fett duels Cad Bane from the Clone Wars. That's on YouTube and it's not canon. They're really relying on you having seen that, and I don't even think most Star Wars fans have seen that, yet alone the casual viewers. The casual viewers gonna have no idea the relationship between Cad Bane and Boba Fett. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They have no idea. So that was a bit of a bummer for me. What did you guys think?
Thanks, Aiden. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, we'll talk about Kenobi in a bit, but
yeah, we're gonna get to
Kenobi. I don't think Obi-Wan's gonna be in Kenobi, Aiden, honestly. I think it's just gonna be Anakin.
Yeah,
it's all about Watto in the desert. Yeah.
I felt like Cad Bane. I felt like his introduction was useful for Boba's arc, because I had expressed to you guys like I feel like his arc peaked in episode 2, and then they didn't really scratch any more of the surface. So I felt like he was the historical aspect of Boba's, past, someone who knew him before. That I felt like he aided the storyline in that sense. I'm not super attached to Cad Bane, so like I felt like his death was appropriate to kind of prove the point that he literally makes with his dying breath, which is you're always a killer at heart. Like, you have Jango Fett's blood pumping through your veins. Like, no matter how hard you try, you're always going to be a little bit of a killer. And he was right. So I felt like his inclusion was necessary for that point. But I'm curious, and Zach, I need your expertise. Did Cad Bane or Fennec, did either of them know that Omega was Boba's like sister? Do they even know like Boba's origins as like a handpicked clone, the son of Cad Bane? Like, do they even know that? Because I feel like that was like a missed opportunity. Like, both Cad Bane and Fennec had interactions with Omega, like Boba's sister, but like, do they even know that?
I think Cad Bane definitely, because he worked with, like, Jango kind of mentored him when he was younger, so he would know, okay, like, this is a little Jango, and also all the clones at the time. Like, he killed clones, he fought clones, so I would say Cad Bane definitely, and I would say Fennec probably. But yeah, they never talk about that in this show.
That would have been like a perfect, like, I don't know. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to be like, did Fennec ever tell you have a sister? And then like that could be a plot point for a second season, finding grown-up Omega. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was really awkward that both Fennec and Cad Bane deal with Omega, and that wasn't brought up at all in the show. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's just encapsulating the very notion that there's so many things that they didn't do that they could have done, but it's in the past. But I think I kind of want to hear, because we've kind of been bashing it. I want to hear, like, obviously Charlie really loved it. Maybe a couple other people in here did. What did you guys like most about it? So maybe we could talk about the good things, if you guys want to. So it's not just constant negativity for those of you who actually did love it. I don't want to kind of rain on your parade if you were loving the entire process. So it's
totally, like, don't get us wrong. It is totally okay if you love this show. Like, that's great. I'm really happy that you love this show.
I wish I loved it, dude. I'm like sitting here trying to love it.
I love this. I feel like this show did so much for the fandom, and so that's why I'll always love it. And honestly, I gotta say, like, episode 2 of this show holds up against like episodes 5 and 6 for me, and that is a completely just original, entirely about Boba Fett, like the Tuskens, the lizard trip, like all of that whole dream sequence. Like, I just felt like that was so revolutionary for Star Wars.
I agree. You're totally right. And I wish that more of the episodes that were about Boba were as deep as that, and this show would have been incredible. Like, I loved episode 2. You're totally right, Kat.
Yeah, I mean, that one, I just keep going back to that one. It was like my favorite one of this season.
Which one was episode 2? Because episode 1, he broke out of Sarlacc, he got taken, and then it ended.
It was the second train, one was the train robbery, like she's the lizard trip. All that.
He makes his gaffy stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I was like thinking, okay, this is gonna get good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, me too.
And then it was just kind of mediocre the rest of the way. It's kind of sad, at least for me. You know, maybe other people it was like the best thing I've ever seen. Tem with a gappy stick, Boba Fett on a Rancor. Yeah, Charlie's just very positive in general. So you know.
Oh,
only
great.
negative thing I've
That's
heard
great.
Charlie say is in reference to Kylo Ren's lightsaber. That's the only negative thing I've ever heard him say in critique of Star Wars.
Which, by the way, Charlie, did you chat with Sam recently? You said you were going to chat with him, I thought. Lobo was tripping on acid.
Was ahead of its time.
I really liked that scene where he goes to the tree and then it's kind of like an illusion or a metaphor of like his family tree with Django and all that and like the Sarlacc.
Yeah, he's breaking away from his dad.
Yeah, and they didn't really do anything about it, at least in my opinion. Like, it would have been one thing if this whole like I have to get away from being who I was in my past, like I don't want to be this violent guy anymore, was like this constant theme throughout the show, but it wasn't. Like, he kills Bib Fortuna and like he murders Bib Fortuna, like he just kills him, and he never had an issue killing anybody who he thought needed to die justifiably in the show.
He worked for the Empire.
Like, yeah, I mean,
like
they just needed to. I feel like I'm okay with him becoming more peaceful and growing soft in his old age, like Cad Bane said. I just think they needed to make it happen more naturally, I guess, was what I'm saying. Because I don't have an issue with him getting to where he finishes in this season, but I really wish that they made the journey more organic, I guess. Anything else positive that you guys want?
Yeah, I was like trying to think, but then Alice was like, I did love the other side of him being a peaceful and wise guy when he was living with the Tuscans. I've never seen him like that before personally. It's like, yeah, that's like, that was great, but like I just felt like when that happens, do you generally just completely lose everything about who you were and then just become someone completely different, like a revival? I mean, I guess in a way that's what him tripping was. His mind opened up and he became someone else. But like that's generally how I felt. Like I felt like he was no longer, like if he wasn't Boba Fett, he didn't have the skills to be Boba Fett anymore. He was just someone with a stick that he got from the Tuscans and is now a Tusken Raider, and he would just lose to Cad Bane very easily because he's no longer Boba Fett. But I mean, the fact that he did initially, this was another thing. Like when he got shot by Cad, because obviously Cad's gonna win. I was like, okay, cool, Boba's gonna die. This is it.
You thought he was gonna die?
I was like, please just kill him. Like, and then Cad gets away, and I would have been so happy with that. That would have been freaking awesome because it's like someone's dying. Like, there's some tragedy. There's some like I don't know, something realistic about all of it because it just no one died, dude. Like no one died. Like I don't know. It just everyone just survives, and it's just like what the fuck. Soundtrack was amazing.
You just want death. You want death and destruction.
I need people to die. People need to die. It's what
this episode gave me though a horrible hunch because there were several times like if we did not have a Mandalorian season 3 confirmed on the horizon, there were numerous occasions that I thought Din was gonna die. Like and even still knowing that his 3rd season is approaching, I still was like, oh my god, are they gonna kill off Din Djarin and just go a completely different route with Mando season 3? But after this episode, like I feel like scared by how confident I am that at the possibility of them like potentially killing off like Mando's character in the future.
That's the thing though. Like all the scenes that were set up to be high stakes, you already knew that none of them were going to die. So it was like it was all just it wasn't dramatic. It just was like, okay, it's just now a cool shootout scene where they all win like expected. Because I knew Din wasn't going to die. There's no way. I knew Baby Yoda wasn't going to die. I don't want to call him Grogu.
If they ever do that.
Like this, like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just there was nothing like and then none of the other characters died really either. So it was like I don't know. It was too Disney, I guess. Like there was no tragedy.
I have a question that I want to ask you guys. Do you think that Grogu and Din were apart for an appropriate amount of time? Like I guess, did you think that they would be back together so soon, or do you wish that they had been kept apart for longer?
I wonder, maybe they thought like there's no way we're gonna have a Mandalorian without Grogu, so we got to bring him back right away. I don't know if that was just what they decided or if it was for a storytelling thing, but I would have actually liked to see them apart a little bit more.
I
Yeah.
Personally,
agree with Alex because I was really questioning, like, I wonder if that was a decision in response to the fandom, the sheer like sadness that we all experienced seeing them being separated. Like, I wondered if they had seen the reception to Mando season 2 finale and thought, okay, we kind of tortured these people. We need to like reunite them because clearly everyone's super upset at the prospect of not seeing Grogu on a regular basis when the third season rolls around. But I mean, I was resolved to them being apart, and I'm also just curious now, like, is that the extent of Luke Skywalker's involvement? Is that it? Like, because if now that, but if Grogu's truly forsaking the Jedi way and he has no desire to go back and pursue it and train with Luke, then what is Luke's role now? Like that was it. Is that all we're getting of Luke Skywalker?
Might be.
which
I feel like
wouldn't be the worst thing, to be honest with you. The mystery around Luke is what makes him so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Like his return, like I mean, I keep saying this, dude. I need to like stop saying this, but his return, like in Mando season 2, I lost my shit, dude. Like I could not handle it because it's like I did not expect that. It was something that was like he's so sacred and so like kind of mysterious and ominous that you didn't expect him to show up like that. But then when he did, it hit you hard. But like if you keep showing him over and over again because everyone loves him, that it loses its luster and it's not as cool anymore. If that makes sense. So I'm okay with maybe not seeing him anymore.
I do want to show, whether it's animated, I'd take a Clone Wars style show of like Luke building his order. I would take that. I think that'd be cool. I've always wanted to see that. I know a lot of people who grew up like in that time period after Return of the Jedi and before the prequels, where it was just books and like what Luke was doing after the original trilogy. They would love to see that. I think that'd be cool, but I do understand what you're saying. Like using Luke sparingly is magical. It's kind of like Vader, honestly. Like you use Vader sparingly and it's perfect and it's epic and it works. So I could understand that. I just didn't think I thought that we would see and like Andrew here is basically saying what I thought would happen. I thought we'd see Grogu come back with Din at the end of season 3 of Mando. And we didn't even get to episode 1 of Mando and they're already back together.
Yeah, so they're inseparable.
They are.
They need to just have joint custody. Like, I don't know. I
feel like Jedi training one week, Mando training the next week.
Yes, I don't know. I just felt like Luke's. I hope there's some at least more expansion on his ideals, I guess his philosophy when it comes to Jedi training in the Ahsoka show, because I don't know, I feel like this Luke left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth with his ultimatum towards Grogu, and I don't know, I just felt like there's hypocrisy in the fact that he literally has a sister and Han Solo and Ben Solo. Like he doesn't cut ties with his family. Like he literally trains his own sister in the Jedi way. They have an attachment. Like I want to see something in Ahsoka because I was like, why do you get to have your whole family still? And Grogu can't even have his one guardian figure in his life. I don't know. I hope this is not all we see of Luke. I want to see a little bit more explanation or maybe a little bit more reckoning with like just kicking Grogu out and sending him on an X-Wing with R2-D2. Like he couldn't even drop him off himself. I'm sorry. I just feel like that was so shady. I don't know. I just hope there's more of him. I don't know.
It felt like an overcorrection on Luke's part of like, okay, so my dad fell to the dark side and became this horrible person because of his attachment. So I'm going to do everything I can to avoid that happening again. And then inadvertently, that's what happens again with Ben Solo. So I guess the sequel trilogy has tied their hands and they have to go that route. But I agree with you. I would have liked to see Luke learn from the mistakes of the prequel era Jedi. And
I mean, obviously he combines like kind of both sides because he uses the Force choke on the droid or whatever. So I was like, you were thinking like maybe he was able to kind of create like a hybrid and not be so dogmatic as he is now. And it's just
That's
kind of
true.
like, it's just kind of like what it just feels like we're doing like a flip turn now. Like, okay, now we're doing this. Okay, I guess I understand, but still, it's like, I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yes, Captain Wrecked.
Yeah.
You can't even
That's a great
speak yet, but this is the hardest decision you'll ever make.
And like, I
Like,
get it. On one hand, he's giving Grogu a choice that the Jedi younglings who were taken from their families never had. So like, I respect
that's
him for
true.
that, but at the same time, he's a toddler. Like, he can't ask a toddler to make like these life-changing decisions.
He's a
Yeah.
50-year-old toddler.
He's like, that one's shiny. Now what do I do? He's like, all right, you're out. He's like, what? Okay. He doesn't even realize what Luke even said.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Grogu's like, well, the Mandalorian has that ball I really like, so I'm gonna go get that ball.
He's like, yeah, I don't know. Master Luke just sent me away. I don't know why. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but I just took the shiny thing and came here now. So like, I don't know. It's very interesting to say the least.
Oh my goodness.
I guess another question that we could answer is, do you think / do you want a season 2 of this show, the Book of Boba Fett?
Nope.
I do. I don't know. I feel like Fennec's behavior at the end of the show, she seemed very shady, and I feel like that could imply that there could be trouble in paradise down the line. So I don't know.
I just want to get to
I'd be
Ahsoka
happy.
and Thrawn and Kenobi. I'm done. I'm over it.
I think
I'm over
Fennec
it.
probably feels the way that we feel about like Boba's doing, because she was like, wait, you want to not trade spice? Like, that's most of our profits. Like, are you kidding me?
She's salty because they're about to be broke. She's like, gosh,
Yeah.
darn it. We're gonna have
She's
no
like,
money.
I knew I shouldn't have tied myself to this bald dude.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I really thought that they would have dropped season 2 announcement like the following day, but then it was
I think they
Kenobi
realized.
Days, so like,
yeah, they're kind of like, yeah, no, there's nowhere else to go with this, and that doesn't really matter anymore. So I think I don't think they're going to do it. If they do, I'd be surprised. And if Robert is another showrunner again, I'd be even more surprised. But it wouldn't. Actually, no. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. They seem to do everything that they shouldn't do for a lot of things. So whatever. It's fine.
I mean, I don't
It's
think
cool as long as the money flows in. I guess that's all
I don't think they had enough story for one season, which is why they did the 2 episodes of Mando and Luke and Grogu. So yeah, I don't think that there will be a season 2 personally. Next
on the
topic
whole,
on the agenda.
Really quick before we close out. On the whole, what would you guys rate it out of 10? Everyone in the chat you guys can put your ratings.
The whole show or just
the whole show?
The
whole show. Should we include the 2 episodes or take out those 2 episodes?
We could do double. We could do 2 different ratings.
Okay, we'll include them. Yeah, Zach go first, Kat go second, I'll go third.
I would say all in all, it's a 7 for me. Without the 2 episodes, it's probably like a 5. Just that's how big those 2 episodes were for me, because like, I think when I look back on the Book of Boba Fett, my first memories will be, oh, it was so cool when we saw the Order 66 flashbacks at the Jedi Temple. Oh, it was so cool when we saw Luke train Grogu. Oh, it was so cool when we saw Ahsoka. Oh, when Cad Bane showed up, that was incredible. And it won't be Boba Fett having a dinner with the crime lords who will eventually obviously betray him. It won't be Boba Fett riding the Rancor. It won't be any of these other things that really should have been the focal point of a Boba Fett show. So I think 7 is what I'm gonna say.
That's still higher than I was expecting, because I was gonna say like 7.75 or like 8 probably overall for me. I agree with everything you're saying, though. The highlights of this show, with the exception of episode 2, are primarily focused on external cameos that don't necessarily focus around the central character. But I still thought that this series was like revolutionary for Star Wars. I felt like they took a lot of risks, which I appreciate. I felt like it broke out of the box in a lot of ways. And I feel like it has changed the expectation now of what the fandom is going to want to see from Star Wars. And so I feel like hopefully that translates and they see like this is the quality of content that they want. Like episodes 5 and 6, that's like that should be the standard. Hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah,
Totally.
I would go 7 with the episodes, 5 without. If the 2 episodes are standalone, 9. If the first 4 episodes were standalone, 3. If I don't even, dude, it's like
Jesus.
it's like how
3
do
out
you
of
even?
10?
It's like I just couldn't. I just could not. I could not convince. I couldn't get into it. It was upsetting, and I was sad. But
Sorry.
it's just my opinion. That's all. I wish I would have.
Did you like
if I
the
could,
Bad Batch more than this show?
I actually think I did, and that's what's sad because I think Boba was such a cool character that it's no longer cool anymore. Whereas the Bad Batch were like already kind of were like created like after everything, and Boba's been around forever, so it's like it kind of made him completely different and soft and it's like there's so many different ways to go about it to make it so cool, but he just is no longer. I just don't care for him anymore. It's sad. But anyway, next topic. Move on. I'm done with
I
it.
do want to
It's making me
say
sad.
like 2 things that are like really positive about the show on the technical side. Music, phenomenal, and set design, phenomenal. Like they did a fantastic job with those 2 things.
It's a good point. Soundtrack was
Yeah, the
lit.
music's always good. The music's always good. And music's
Yeah.
expected. If music's bad, that's when you have a real problem. But the music's already expected to be really good and everything.
That's a given.
Star Wars related. So like if it isn't, then it's like, okay, what's going on here?
Colin just wants Kenobi now. He can't wait. So speaking of Kenobi, let's get into Kenobi. The poster dropped the other day. I'm gonna go ahead and share it right here so everyone can look at it.
We can bask in the glory.
Let me open it up.
What kind of math was decided for the 6.5555455? Did you get like what's the algorithm you use to this? Because like I need something that exact, honestly.
You wouldn't get it.
I wouldn't get
it.
So here's the poster for Kenobi, and I think it's a good looking poster. I'm glad they didn't do the generic like floating heads and arranged like geometrically like every
Oh my
poster is
gosh,
these days.
yeah.
But I think it's minimalistic. It's nice. What do you guys think?
It's beautiful.
I like it.
Cute director.
I mean, it's kind of what you
Krennic.
expected, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it
like
definitely doesn't reveal much.
If you were to like imagine what a Kenobi poster would look like, this is exactly what it would look like. So it's like
Yeah.
it's not like anything like out of the ordinary, no spectacle. It's it's pretty much what you would have come to expect from a Kenobi poster. If any fan were to try to make one, this is what they would make. So it's like I don't know. It's like it's cool. Like I have no issues with it. I have no beef with it. It's just like it's exactly what you would expect.
I think it's actually more like minimalistic than any of the fan-made posters. Like it's even simpler than the fan-made posters.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It has a nice depth of field too. He's like off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colors are nice. It's and it's coming out May 25th, so that's sooner than I thought, which I'm happy.
When were you expecting?
I thought June or July. Like well after Star Wars Celebration. I thought we'd get like a trailer at Star Wars Celebration. But no, it's before, right? It's before Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, it's the day before Celebration. It's the 26th, the 29th. So how do you guys think that will impact? Like, do you think they'll have a panel? Like,
oh yeah,
I low-key would go to watch
right?
like a stream if they had just like streamed the first episode in like a huge auditorium. Oh my god.
I would, yeah.
So I'm going to that D. Oh no, that's after. I'm going to this May 4th thing in Disneyland. I don't know if they're going to do like any kind of trailer there, but there's like this event going on over there in Galaxy's Edge. So if they do have like a big screen there, it's probably going to show like something there if they don't show it already. But I was like going to say D23 is like, but that's later. That's after the series goes, right?
You think that's a Super Bowl teaser or something, maybe?
I don't think so. We're already
No.
getting the Lord of the Rings one. I feel like Star Wars wouldn't try
Oh
to.
God, I'm so nervous about that. I'm
Nervous?
so
Did you
nervous.
see
Ugh.
Did you see the images?
Yeah, I
they're-
don't
Yes.
like them. I don't
What?
like
Yeah.
them. I don't
Yeah,
like
Wait,
them.
what? Why?
Cat, I
What's
just
wrong?
don't think I think no matter what they do, it's not gonna live up to the movies for me. And I think they're fighting an unwinnable battle. And it's not fair to
Really?
them, but I just don't think that there's anything they can do.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. The films, like, nothing can beat them, but doesn't mean I don't want more content. I don't know. I saw some of the pics and I was like, this looks like it could be like Game of Thrones-esque level, like production quality, like set. Just like I'm excited. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll
I don't
see.
know.
Anyway, I think we should do what Collider does and make predictions of who this character is in this poster.
Oh,
Who do you guys
definitely
think?
Watto. It's Watto.
It's
Putting on the sand and the way
Dex.
it's the way his cape moves to the left instead of the right, and the way he walks. You can assume that it's definitely not Kenobi.
It's Luke. It's old Luke.
It's old Luke.
Yeah.
Old
it's
Luke's on
old Luke.
Tatooine.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
old Luke.
That's fair. I think we got it. I think we got
I mean,
it. What do you think, Kat?
Kind of looks like old Luke.
It's a face changer. See, I'm starting to get Star Wars and Dune mixed up because Dune has the people who can like change their faces.
That's actually Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
That's his character older.
it's Paul Atreides.
Yeah.
We know Lord of the Rings isn't Disney. Although they might, the rights are up for sale, so they might buy them.
Stop.
If Disney
no,
buys
no.
Lord of the Rings, that'll be ridiculous. But did you notice in the poster that Obi-Wan's holding Rey's lightsaber?
Don't call it.
Rey's lightsaber. How
Rey's
could you?
lightsaber.
Oh God.
Speaking of the Batman, I am excited for that one.
Yeah, now the Book of Boba's over. I'm like, all right, what's next? The Batman.
When does it come out?
May 4th, less than a month.
Dude, May's gonna be a freaking month.
Yes.
It's gonna be
Wait, no.
a month.
It's March 4th. I'm an
Well,
idiot.
you're
so
right
stupid.
there. You're right there, Zach. It is a month. You're not wrong about that. It
Of
does
all the
exist.
of all the months, May is certainly one of them.
Since Kenobi isn't on an electric bike, it's not him.
Yo, what if the mods show up in this show?
Oh my god, like their parents or something. These bikes have been
dear.
passed down from generation.
Oh no!
generation.
Oh
It's just
no!
like
There's just
the
Vespas
Mando
again. It's like,
armor.
dude.
Yeah.
Did they hire Robert for one episode, and the one episode he does, it's the Vespa episode, and everyone's just like, no.
I'm actually
No.
I think that God, what's her name? You just said it earlier.
Deborah
I'm
Chow.
Deborah Chow. I thought her Mandalorian episode was great, and I think I think we're not going to have the Robert Rodriguez problem with Deborah Chow. I think she's going to do a great job.
Yeah, she seems
No, and I'm
confident.
really-
Which episode did she do again? I forgot.
I don't remember. I know it was good though. Let me look it up.
Because I remember hearing that it was her who directed one of them that we watched that was really sick, but I don't remember which one it was.
Oh, she did episode 3
With
The Sin.
Bo-Katan?
No, I think this is season 1. She did episode 3 and the finale of episode 1.
Oh, that's right. I don't even remember like any of episode 1, honestly.
What happened in the finale of season 1?
They rescued Grogu and then fought the Empire remnants.
Moff Gideon.
yeah.
But
Was that when
she's
Didn't
was
also
that when
take
directed
Grogu
Grogu got punched or something?
Oh
that was-
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay,
what's his
gotcha.
face dies.
That one was
That
good.
was out.
That one was actually really good.
No, yeah, and she's also done episodes of Mr. Robot, The Man in the High Castle, Jessica Jones, Rain, and Better
Man in
Call
High Castle's
Saul.
good.
Better Call
Better
Saul.
Call
Oh my
Saul's good.
gosh.
Better Call Saul's coming back too pretty soon, so we're gonna have a lot of content.
My
Season
God.
1 finale was Taika. Was it?
Yeah, it might have been. I think so. Why does it? This article's wrong then. Let me bring up her IMDb, and we can totally see.
I was just happy to hear that she's directing the whole show. Like, I love having multiple directors,
Yeah,
but
like
I feel like
one vision. Oh yeah, we didn't really
yes.
flesh that out when you brought that up. Yeah, no, I
It's like
think it depends. I think it depends, but like I think like if you have a competent director with a good vision, you should just let that person, whoever he or she is, just go with it and create it. You know, because I think they made that mistake in the sequel trilogy, having too many captains on deck. You know, it's
cooks in
like,
the
dude, just
kitchen.
have cooks in the kitchen. Just keep going. Just do what you planned instead of changing things. Like you're just gonna
So
create a mess.
she did episode 3 and episode 7, so the penultimate episode of season 1, the one right before
Oh,
the
which was
finale.
really good.
Is when Quill died and then Grogu got taken.
Yeah, rip. And episode 3, I literally can't remember anything of season 1. First episode, he meets Grogu. Second episode, he takes him. Third episode, is that though they?
Third episode was I think it was it the one where he almost, let me bring it up real quick. It's been so long.
I know.
It's the one where the Mandalorians save him at the end.
Oh, yes. All right, we're in good hands then.
Yeah, I'm confident in her.
We shall see. Next topic. We got 5 minutes left.
We have another topic.
We do, because we were talking about this last week off air, but we want to at some point attempt a 24-hour stream.
Just die slowly.
Oh my god! Wait,
we're gonna have.
I thought that this decreased to 12, but we're doing it. We're sending it for the full 24.
I guess so.
I mean, I guess we have to figure out everything, how we're going to go about it. But obviously, we want to have everyone that we've ever had on the podcast come on at some point during the stream. Do it for charity or whatever the heck, stream Lego Star Wars, stream video games, whatever we're going to do. Figure out a whole setup and just go. So like everyone can tune in at any time and be able to see us live, so that we're not just appeasing certain people at certain time zones and then they're rewatching us later. We just do it once for everyone, because you guys have been great, and the fact that you're still here after being gone for like 3 or 4 months is also awesome. So we're doing this all for you guys also. So,
and we want to it would be a charter stream, correct?
That's what I said. I said fun.
Oh, okay, yes.
I said that, didn't I? Did I not
you
say
said
that?
yeah. But
we might do it for charity, or we don't do it for whatever. We have to work out all the details, but it'd be fun if we did like a charity stream where we had like everyone on, maybe even Theory or whoever to want to come on and just chat and hang out and whatever. So we'll see.
We can. I was thinking we could have like the people. They could like give Watto quotes from like famous movies and stuff to say at some point during the stream.
Oh, that could be
like
fun.
like a 30-minute window. Watto just fields quotes and then says them.
Your throat is gonna be killing you.
Oh, I'll be dead. Yeah, I'll be mute. I'll be mute by the end. But
I'll turn my cam off and go sleep for 30 minutes and then come back after you're done.
Oh my gosh. When was the last time you guys stayed awake for 24 hours?
Never.
Oh, dude, I was like, I think 15.
Never?
I might actually have to start drinking energy drinks, because I've never had one before. So I might have to.
Oh, it's gonna hit you hard. I'll give you my good stuff.
Heroin.
Celsius really hits you hard. Like it's like the best energy drink.
I'm more of a Fahrenheit kind of guy.
Well, it's too hot, dude.
I'm actually more of a Kelvin dude.
I don't abide by American standards of measurement for heat. Just got back from California. Got to go to Galaxy Edge for the first time.
Exciting.
Hell yeah, Fulcrum. Dude, California's where it's at.
Fulcrum.
The only thing is, it's really expensive to live here, so it's nice to visit, I guess. Did you do anything else aside from Disneyland, or did you just go to Galaxy's Edge?
I still haven't been to Galaxy's Edge.
Me either.
It was cool. I only went there because my girlfriend took me, but like otherwise I probably wouldn't have gone. But like I was really glad I did because it was actually fun. I
It was
actually
still
enjoyed it.
crowded though when you went, right? Like I've been trying to wait for it to die down, but I
Yeah,
don't think it'll ever die down.
luckily we literally just randomly stumbled upon two people who were trying to get rid of their fast passes or whatever for that one ride that's like 2 hours always, the Rise of the Resistance. So we were able to go right in.
Is that a
so that was
simulator ride where you're just
It's
like
a mixture.
in a
It's
seat?
like a hybrid. Like you like walk through like a scene, like you're like taken by the First Order, and they actually talk to you. There's like a whole team that like takes you through, like they talk to you like they're in character. It's actually really, really cool. Like I actually liked it.
Fast order. Were you scared?
I was a little scared.
He died at the end. Kylo
Yeah,
Ren
I got to
just
choose how my
killed him.
character got killed, and I was like, I want Kylo to slice me in half.
I want Kylo Ren to choke me out.
I just want him to choke me until I die.
I paid good money for this.
Yeah, that's the idea,
Thanks,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Like everybody will
Yeah.
get to see us live at some point, and the hope is that for the guests that we might bring on, like they won't really have an excuse unless they're busy for all 24 hours of the day. Like they should be able to come on if they want.
Unless like they're on vacation or something, yeah, or they just really don't like us, which is fair.
They hate us.
But I mean, I think I'll like just literally hit up everyone, and we'll be able to have like different time slots. Like maybe 1 hour is another person. We'll figure it all out. But I think there's a lot of cool people that we can have on and just discuss everything.
Yeah,
we might want to start at 12 hours, but like we'll see.
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
But we don't
like
have a
five,
set
like
date.
5 to 5. We do like 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. or something. I don't know. Or 5, or then we do the 24. It'd be like 5 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then like after that we just go to sleep.
Well, we'll figure it out. It's in the very preliminary stages. We don't even have a set date. We don't even have a set date.
We literally just like
we haven't even hit up all of our guests yet either. So
no, we have.
Yeah, we can have a session where we would bring members on too. We could just have like one like for like an hour. We can just all.
We got 24 hours to kill.
We play Battlefront or something together, all of us, for like an hour or 2 hours or whatever. Yeah. That'd actually be fun. I would actually like to play Battlefront because I'm really good at it.
I'll kick
No, you're trash, bro.
We'll have teams. We'll do like 3v3. Everyone will want to be on my team though, so it's fair. It's whatever. Just kidding.
Well,
see if any are willing to do comeback. Wait, see if any are willing to do comeback at some point for a roundtable of ridiculousness.
Meaning like our past guests?
Oh yeah, Rick, we'd have everyone back. We just so you guys, if you guys didn't know, we were gonna have Critical Drinker on like 3 months ago, but things got hectic and I had to cancel, and I like let him know. I'll email him when he can come back on at some point. But this would probably be the time when he would come on. But yeah, there's a lot of guests that we had to cancel on, unfortunately. But we can have like Ray Connects back. We can have Transmute Pictures back. We can have like your fan film peeps too, Kat. We can have anyone you know. We can have like all sorts of really cool guests and people in the fandom. We can have like HFP back. We can have, I don't know, anyone in like my niche, your niche, all sorts of cool Star Wars people can come on. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our stream for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. We had a couple more people come in because we were able to. I'm so tired, dude.
I hope this didn't come off as too negative.
I'm sorry.
I think that's just, that energy just reflects Book of Boba, his thoughts.
In case you couldn't tell, my eyes are just I'm Pete. But voice off against Shapeshifter against Captain Rex.
The Polynesian
Shapeshifter too. I forgot we can have him on too. There's so many ideas for this. This could be a lot of fun. But anyway, I'll have Zach do the honors because I'm tired.
All right, everybody. See you next week on the next episode of the Evil Ewok Podcast.
Bye.
See ya.